Welcome to my gravity experiment. My name is Mike, and I'm on a journey to discover the shape of gravity. Does the gravity of a small object look like a planet's gravity, or does it look more like the head of a rabbit? Does gravity uniformly scale, or does it have limits to its range? What happens when we have different shapes with the same mass? Why is it important to understand the shape of gravity? It is because gravity remains one of the biggest unsolved mysteries of science. Billions of dollars have been spent on researching gravity from space, from black hole collisions to planetary gravitational surveys. But no one has mapped the gravitational intersection between an object and the Earth, which is the goal of these experiments. We can easily observe the magnetic flows, so it would also be helpful to understand the gravitational flow from objects. I came across this gravity experiment on YouTube that showed the weights hanging above the drums rather than beside them. This was called a failed Cavendish experiment by its owner, because it didn't do what it was expected to do. He considered the results to be due to electromagnetic attractions. I believe that this demonstrates gravity to have a fluid structure that flows around objects rather than through them. The experimental rig is inspired by Henry Cavendish, who used a similar experiment to measure gravitational acceleration. This device uses the combination of a Cavendish's rotational arm and a pendulum swinging arm to measure any gravitational effects between the weights and the mass objects. This is achieved by hanging weights from two cables, rather than one, so there is a known equilibrium datum point that can be used for baseline measurements. It also uses a fiber optic gyroscope to accurately measure the rotational movements, as well as laser beams to plot vertical and horizontal results. The rig has a rotational hanger that can position the mass objects above, below, or beside the balance weights, to assess the different effects from different positions. My hypothesis is that the gravity from objects has an active radiation formation, whereas the gravity of planets and stars have sedimentary-style gravitational structures that accumulate over time. I hope that you will help me on my journey to uncover the mysteries of gravity.